Hi everyone, this is Shelly with Life Creates Art, and thank you so much for joining me. Thank you to my new subscribers, and I hope you all are enjoying this beautiful, beautiful chill that we have in the air as we approach the holidays. And I could not let the holidays approach and all of these crafts that we've done without painting something, without doing something really, really simple that you can enjoy. And what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be painting a Christmas tree, a holiday tree that you can decorate however you like, but we're going to be painting it something you can frame and keep on your wall for years and years to come, or you can give it away as a gift, whatever you want to do with it. But it's going to be a really, really wonderful thing that you can do. It's very simple. Whether you're a basic, just started painting painter, artist, or whether you're experienced and you want to add more to the basic tree that we're going to be doing, this is going to be an enjoyable thing. You can enjoy the music and we'll do this together. So I hope you'll join me. And the holidays are upon us and it's chill in the air, and I have broken out the cocoa and I'm already watching holiday movies and all of that. So enjoying my family, and I hope you're enjoying your family as well. And so what I've got here is, to start with, I've got an 11 by 14 board. So this is Artist Loft, and I got this at Michael's. They usually come in a pack, and they're usually fairly inexpensive. And you can buy them with your little 40% off coupon or whatever. And then you can, it's a great deal because you can make a lot of nice little gifts with these things and frame them. And this is what I've done here. You can see that I've already drawn a face on here. I tried to erase it, but it won't come off. I don't know if you can see that up close, but I tried to erase it because obviously I'm going to do a tree on this now. And what I've done is, with this is something that I did on one of these boards, and this is one of my pours that I did, and I framed it. So the advantage of these boards is that you can actually frame these. Now you can use the glass or you can just eliminate the glass, but this is just a standard frame that I did purchase at Michael's. So there's your idea, there's your frame. Now, what you will need for this project, you will obviously need one of the boards. You will need your 2 cups. I am a huge proponent of having 2 water cups for your painting. And this simply because you dip your paintbrush to clean it in 1 cup, and then you clean for, the final clean is in the 2nd cup. So you dip your paintbrush to do, when your paint is covered in paint in the 1st cup, and your paint is all goopy and goopy and goopy in that 1st cup. And then the 2nd cup will be a more clean water. And that way you know that your brush is 100% clean and it won't taint your canvas with the color that you just cleaned your brush with, and your brush is 100% clean. Now, what you're going to need also, and Sheldon is sitting right here helping me on the table here. Thank you, Sheldon. You're going to need several sizes of paintbrushes here, but I've pulled out some. Now, the reason I have this kind of cruddy 1-inch brush here is because I did a bad thing. I didn't properly clean my larger brush, and so I have to go to Michael's now and purchase a better 1-inch brush because I didn't properly clean it, and so now it's all crusty and icky. So I have to use kind of this cruddy brush to do a larger space here, and so we'll see how it goes. But and then I have this larger one for when I do the larger size of the Christmas tree. And then I've got a couple of different sizes here for just when I'm doing more details on the Christmas tree. So paintbrushes. And I've got, what we're doing, I'm gonna show you my sketch. We're doing kind of a sort of a lazy sketch of a Christmas tree here. The Christmas tree is going to be kind of fallen over. And so you're going to need a few shades of greens. I'm just doing Craft Smart paints today. And we're going to use a few shades of greens. I always just like to get a few shades of each color. So the lighter to the darker. And I've got some real green and, oh, I can't read that, apple tart, and just a regular green here. I've also got one I bought at Walmart, a medium green. I've got my red here, my Craft Smart red. For the trunk that I'm going to be doing, I've got a khaki and a chocolate. I've got, of course, my black and my white here that you want. Your black and white regular, and then some yellows. I've got a couple of different kinds of yellows. Sort of more of a light orange and a buttercream. And then some blues. I want to do the background in a blue. And then I want to kind of lighten it up, and because I want to put some stars in the back as well. So again, it's going to be very, very simple. Oh, I also have a sponge because I kind of want to sponge in some of the light places in the back. Really, really simple, really basic, easy, but it would be a great gift. And again, a gift for someone, or something that you can take down one of your pictures that hang in your home, and every year hang up this in your home at Christmas. So we're gonna get started right now. Okay, so let's get started here now. I'm going to, of course, this is the one thing I forgot to mention. You need somewhere to put your paint. And I found these little plates at Target, and they were just 50 cents a piece. And I love them, love them, love them. So let's get started. I'm going to start just with painting the whole canvas in this dark blue from Craft Smart. Going to use that icky brush, and like I said, I had drawn a face on here. We're going to cover that up. This may need a couple of coats. And take your time when you're painting. Painting should be relaxing for you, something that you do when you're just trying to have fun and relax, not something that should be rushed or stressed. It should be a time when you're just trying to de-stress and relax and enjoy the moments. Try to go all in one direction. Sometimes you have to take breaks in between to let the paint settle and dry a little bit. And that's okay. Gives you time to work on other things. You don't want to rush it. Sometimes you rush it and it forces the paint. It makes the paint spread out too fast, and you don't want to rush things all the time. I think sometimes we rush things in life too fast. We need to learn to slow down. I lived in Los Angeles for 7+ years, and that was something I needed to learn to do, was slow down. Okay, so I need to take a minute and let that dry, and probably do another coat. Okay, so What I have done is I have sketched in the tree. Now I've jumped ahead a little bit here, I realize, because I forgot to turn the camera on. I'm such a dork. I sketched in the tree a little bit, and then we're going to come in and we're going to outline a little bit in a white and sketch it in also. You can do that. And I have taken a sponge and added some light blue, some of the dark blue that we used on the background, and also a cobalt blue. And I've just started sponging around just to add a little bit of texture to the back part of it. And I apologize that I jumped ahead a little bit here, but sometimes some technical difficulties take place. But I didn't want to stop this project altogether, just because of a little bit of technical difficulties. So I decided that I would make it look as if there were a little snow on the ground. Maybe make it a little bit darker here. So this is just a sponge. Like I said, some of the blue on the top, mixing in some of the cobalt blue and some of the light blue. And maybe it look like it's just a drizzle of snow. And then bringing in some of the lighter snow on the bottom. And again, I've got those pencil marks for the tree on the bottom. It's going to be a little more difficult to see, but we'll work it out. And we can come back in and fix anything that we have to. Let me see if I can see some of my sketches here. It's always good to come in a little bit and sketch, and anything that you can always come back in and cover it, because we have the original color. Okay. I think this is good, and then we can come back in again. I love sponging. Okay. It gives it some nice texture. All right, now let's start our tree, and we are going to now use our white. And what I'm going to do, I'm using white just to sort of sketch in the tree a little bit so it's easier for you to see. And I'm going to use a thinner brush for that. And we're going to start here at the base, and we're going to make a little bit of a base here. And we're just sketching here. We're just sketching the trunk a little bit. We're just going to make a few squares here. They don't have to be even. We're making sort of a whimsical tree here. And they don't have to be even. And then we're going to come in, and we are doing, I'm trying to see where I started here. Let me see. Because I know I brought it out pretty far. We're going to start way out here. And you're just going to bring your tree out, and you're going to kind of curl up the ends. And you're going to bring it down like that. Bring it up. And don't forget to bring those curls up and out. Have nice big swoops and have fun with this. Don't judge yourself too harshly. With art, never ever judge yourself too harshly. And in life, there's always a way to recover things. There's always a way to make things right. And just like I did when I didn't turn the camera on here, there's always a way that you can recover things. So now we're going to make our second layer. We're going to start building from here, and we're going to bring it out, and we're going to bring it in. And I'm not necessarily following those sketch lines that I did, just sort of loosely following them, using them as a little guide. We sometimes take our life a little too seriously, and we have to learn to laugh at ourselves sometimes. And let's curl that up a little bit. So there's our second level. Now our third level is going to start to curve a little bit here. So we're going to take it here, and we're going to go there. I'm going to go bring this here and there. There. Okay, now what I want you to do for this next one is I want you to actually turn your canvas. If you're doing this on the table, then it's a little easier for you, but I want you to curve your canvas. It makes it a little bit easier for you to kind of get an idea of where you need to be, where the tree is curving. And that way, it gives you a better visual of how to really bring those branches out and down. Okay, doing that, bringing the tree like this. And now I'm even going to curve it even more. I'm going to make sure that you guys can still see it, because the tree is actually going to curve. So I want you to start with that curve right here. Start with that curve and bring it in like this. And then like this. Okay, I'll show you what we're doing. If you don't know quite where I'm going here, I'll show you in a second here. There we go. See that? And there we are. Now we'll hang a little ornament from the tree, so it's like a really heavy ornament. And then we're going to put a nice star here. So let's do that right now. Let's outline our star. And we're just going to make our big star. And we're going to fill that in. You can see my blue is still a little wet, and that's okay, because we're going to let it dry. In here, a nice star. Some people might have preferred the star with the point at the top, but that's okay. I'm not too picky about that. All right, so there we go. We're going to let this dry for just a few minutes, our outline, and then we're going to start basically coloring it in like a color book. See you in a second. Okay, so now we are going to start painting our tree, and I was just looking at our tree and thinking, you know, this looks kind of like a sad little tree, but why would I paint a sad little Christmas tree at Christmas time? And thinking, well, you know, we all go through sad little times at times, and this is a little tree that needs encouragement, and it reminds us that during the holiday season, there are sometimes people that need to be encouraged and lifted up And just like this Christmas tree, it's kind of drooping over, but it will be really beautiful. And just like our life, sometimes we feel a little bit sad and droopy, but we need to lift each other up. And it'll be a reminder to us that life is beautiful. It sometimes can be droopy, but it is really beautiful too. So this is actually a whimsical tree, and we're going to bring a lot of beauty to it. And so we're going to start with our little green tree here. And I'm going to just paint this a solid green at first and enjoy the music while we paint the solid green. Then we're going to add some highlights to it, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so now I've got the darker green done, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in with some lighter green and maybe even some darker green. And I don't have the plastic off of this, so to save time, I'm going to just squeeze it out. I'm going to use a 1/2 inch brush on this, and I'm just going to come in and along the tops of the tree, pardon me, along the top parts of the branches, and add a little highlight along the edges. So it looks like there's some light shining on the top part of the tree. I'm going to blend that in with the dark green a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to use the same brush, and I'm going to sort of blend that in a little bit. Use a little bit of the paint, and I'm just going to blending it in. A little bit of the paint, just sort of blending it in on the bottom. Adding some nice blends to it so it doesn't look so harsh. Paint's still a little bit wet. Maybe we have to come in after it dries a little bit and add another coat to it. Maybe a little darker coat. Just doing some blending here. This just gives the tree some more texture. Yeah, so I know I'm going to have to come in here and add some darker highlights again. I just don't like to pile wet paint on wet paint. It tends to make the paint pull too much. I don't like that. Sometimes it's okay, but sometimes it's just too much. Okay. I am all for taking time when it comes to painting, not rushing things. You don't have to always paint things in 30 minutes. All right. So we got some good texture going on there. I still would like to come in and do little darker things, a little more darker highlights. But let's work on the trunk a little bit right now. Let's get our brown going here. I've got some khaki and some chocolate. The chocolate is a little bit red, more red for my taste. Again, I'm dipping my paintbrush that I just used in the first cup and then in the second cup. Now I've dipped it in the second cup and I know that it's clean of all of the green. So I'm mixing the chocolate and the khaki and then I'm going to come in here with my trunk and I'm going to kind of mix the colors together for the trunk. And I'm going to make sure that that trunk goes all the way up there. And because I want these a little bit separated, I'm going to use a thinner brush. Let's see if I can find my thin brush. And I'm going to use a line of chocolate here, right here. And I'm going to try to keep that separated. Maybe I'll do this one a little bit darker. Just stand it out a little bit. Okay, so just play with it. Remember, it's paint. You can always paint over it. Have no fear. There's a lot of mistakes that we make in life that we can fix. And some of them we fix by saying we're sorry. And some of them we can't really fix. But we can be sorry for them and try to fix by not making those mistakes again. And that's how we fix it, by making sure that we don't make those mistakes again and we don't hurt those people that we love again in the same way. And but with art, we make our mistakes, and oftentimes we can just paint over it. Just beautiful. Yeah, but with all things in life and in art, generally mistakes, if you keep going and you keep persevering, you come out with something really, like I've always said, something more beautiful on the other side. If you keep pressing through and you keep pushing on and pushing forward, you end up with something really, really beautiful. So I do want this to look like it's all one piece of wood, but again, this is a whimsical tree, so it doesn't have to look real. But we're going for something fun and a little bit crazy, so we're going to add a little bit to that branch, add a little bit more khaki to this, add some more lines to this. Add some more chocolate lines, especially up to the top because it's going to be a little darker up there. Okay. I'm going to outline this a little bit once it's dry with some black, but I think that's kind of fun. Now, I think it's time that we can add a little bit. I'm going to actually see what it looks like to mix this chocolate and this green a little bit. A little bit of the chocolate and the green. Yeah, it makes a little bit of a deeper green, and I kind of like that because I want a little bit of a deeper green to kind of highlight underneath these branches. See that? Let's see if I can find a brush that's slightly thicker, but not too thick. This will do. So I want to come in and I want to just, I should have waited until it was a little more dry, but I just kind of want to add some shadowing under these branches. That. Not all of them, but on some of them. The way that you can really understand shadowing is to go outside, take some pictures, take your camera, and go look at trees. And take some photographs of how the shadows are on the ground and around trees, and really study them. Just, it's the best way that you can learn about shadowing is how things fall on the ground in trees, is be your own teacher and look around at how things are in nature. And so now I'm going to use the green that I normally use, and again I'm going to kind of blend that in. I don't want it to be brown because it kind of turned brown on me, back to the brown. So I want it to be more of the green. But again, you play around. And so just blending that in. All right, this worked out well. Okay. I like it a lot. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of a white tip to this because we want it to look like it's snowing a little. And if you like, I generally like to outline things a little bit, but if you would like to do that, you can. But you can look like it's snowing. You can add a little snow to the tips of the tree, like this. And if you want it to be really whimsical, you can add some little twisties and turnies on the tree, and I'll show you how to do that. Add a little white here, add a little white here. So now we can paint the star whatever color you want. If you want it to be gold, you can paint it gold. If you want the star to be a sparkles, you can paint it sparkles. But what I would like you to do also is think about whether you want to put stars back here. You can use little silver, the little squeeze silver bottles. They have the glitter glue with sparkle in it. There's also the silver, and I'll try to find it here. Here it is. There's the gold glitter here that you can use, and they have it in silver as well. I haven't decided what I want to do yet, but as I go here, I think I'll figure that out. And we're going to put ornaments on the tree once it dries. And I think the star is going to need a couple of coats here. So we'll keep going with this. And this has to dry for a second though. Okay, we are going to finish up our Christmas tree. And I'm just going to add a little bit of some gold to my star here. A little bit of a different kind of yellow. And this has been really, really fun. I have enjoyed this, and I love what we came up with. So I am going to have fun. I'm going to frame this, and it's going to look really, really lovely hanging in my home. And I've already done with my Christmas gifts. So I was just actually, while this was drying, I was preparing the packages for sending out the mats with the Christmas gifts that I prepared for the framing that everybody signs. I don't know if you watched the videos that I did of Christmas gifts, but I'm having everyone in the family sign mats with pictures. And I am sending those out to South Carolina, which is where one of my sons live, and his wife and children. And they're signing the mats for their siblings, and then are going to send it back to me. And so getting those ready. All right, so now I'm going to start doing some ornaments. And it's going to be really fun. I decided I'm going to actually put a little star here hanging from the tree. And so I'm just going to freehand a little star here and just do a little freehand here. And I can tighten that up with a, whoopsie. And then do ornaments on the rest of the tree. I just wanted a little star hanging from the top of the tree. There we go. That looks nice. Then I can fill that in a little more once it dries. And now, just adding some color to the tree wherever I like. Adding a little bulb here. And again, you're going to have to come in, and my brush is a little wet, so that's why that's doing that. If your paint is a little wet, you can just sort of put your finger on it and it kind of erases it. And come back in again. There we go, that's much better. All right, a little red bulb, and I think I'll do one hanging down here. Maybe this one's going to be a different shape. And just have some fun with some ornaments hanging on your tree. Maybe one down here. I did add a little more snow down at the bottom. I don't know if you noticed with the sponge, I added stamped in a little more snow. And so we're going to add a few more ornaments to the tree, and then we'll finish up in the end. I would like to add some stars at the end, and we'll take care of that together. So I'm going to add some little bit of whimsy to it, the outline now, but I'm going to turn it, make it a little easier for me, and I'm going to turn it upside down actually, and just sort of add a little bit of do one here too. And maybe do one here. You don't want it to look too forced. So you just sort of take your paintbrush and just do a little curlicue. And out of my star, I'm just going to do a little things like that. And like that. I'm going to darken this one a little bit. Take some time to add some detail to this. I'm going to use some black now. And I'm going to add some detail to my trunk. Down here. And the ornaments need to dry a little bit before I start to add even more. I need to actually add a little more to them and then outline them. But I'm going to be outlining the tree pretty much all the way around. And very casually outlining the tree, not really outlining it as if I'm doing it in great detail, because this is a whimsical tree. It doesn't have to be exact. You want it to be very casual, very light. We have the snow there. I probably need to redo that a little bit, but want it to be very, very light. So I'm going to be redoing the snow a little bit, adding some detail to the tips of the tree, and even some of my ornaments that I've just crossed over. But I'm going to be working on this a little bit, and what I'll do is I will show you what the results are. And so just continue to work on the details, just detailing out the center of the tree. See what I'm doing? Adding some of these details. Now, not everyone's going to want to add the black detail, and that's okay. You don't have to. You could have just left it the way it was, and that would have been fine. For some people, I like the outline. That's my style. And that's kind of the way that I like to do things. But if you like to have it more natural, the way the tree was before, then you go for that. Everybody has their own style, and we respect one another's style and the way everyone does things. So I'm going to touch up my ornaments. I'm going to touch up the star. I'm going to touch up the snow, and then I will return and show you the final result. And I'm even going to put some stars with some glitter glue here. And what I will show you while I have you here, what I'm actually going to be doing is putting little dots like this all over like that, so that it looks like I have little stars in the background, like that. And then I'll be highlighting those with some glitter all around. Okay. And so I'm going to touch this up and I will show you the end result. See you in a minute. Okay, so here's our Christmas tree. And again, I played around with it, and I want to, of course, as always, encourage you to do the same thing. Take your time and work on your art, and turn off the video and take time to do your art. Turn on some music, relax, and take what I've put out here for you to do and play around and work on it. And you can, of course, fast forward and rewind the videos and have some fun. And that's what art is all about. So we've taken our little slumpy fun tree. I'd say that it's a little heavy with some snow here, and we've turned it into something really fun and whimsical. I did add some color and, of course, some highlights and some lowlights, some little whimsy here. I did add some sparkle. I ended up adding a little bit of glitter glue and then throwing some of my glitter onto it because I love glitter, and probably have some on my hands and my face. And so I hope you've enjoyed this, and I hope you have a really wonderful and Merry Christmas. And I love you all, and I'm here for you, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask below. We love you. Bye.